The mockery, the Galactic Council chamber resonated with barely concealed laughter as Ambassador Elena Rodriguez stepped forward to address the assembly. Floating in the center of the vast spherical room, she appeared impossibly small compared to the towering crystalline beings, tentacled giants, and energy-based entities that made up the Council's elite membership. The Vorthan delegate, a creature resembling a massive praying mantis made of living diamond, clicked its mandibles in what Elena had learned was their equivalent of a snicker. The human delegation arrives with their impressive escort, it announced, its translator rendering the sarcasm perfectly clear. Through the chamber's transparent walls, Elena could see Earth's diplomatic fleet, 5 sleek vessels that humanity had spent decades perfecting. To human eyes, they represented the pinnacle of engineering. To the gathered aliens, they apparently looked like children's toys. 5 ships, rumbled the Gorvac representative, a mountain of rock and flame that served as speaker for a warrior, species controlling 1,000 systems. The mighty Earth sends 5 tiny vessels to petition for council membership. How quaint. Elena maintained her composure, adjusting the collar of her diplomatic uniform with practiced calm. She'd expected this reaction. In fact, she'd counted on it. The current council chairman, a Zalaki whose translucent body pulsed with bioluminescent patterns, gestured with one of its dozen tentacles. Ambassador Rodriguez, please present Earth's petition for membership in the Galactic Council. Elena nodded, activating her holographic display. Honored delegates, Earth comes before you today not as conquerors or supplicants, but as potential partners. We offer our unique perspective, our cultural diversity, and our commitment to peaceful coexistence. The Crichton delegate, resembling a massive serpent made of liquid metal, coiled tighter around its designated platform. Peaceful coexistence with 5 ships. How do you propose to contribute to galactic security when the Vorthan hegemony alone commands 10,000 warships? More laughter rippled through the chamber. The Vorthan delegate preened, its crystalline carapace shifting through various colors of pride. Elena smiled slightly. We believe that true strength isn't always measured in numbers, honored Crichton. Earth's philosophy has always been quality over quantity. Quality? The Gorvac's voice shook the chamber. Your vessels are 3 generations behind Zalaki patrol craft. Your weapons are primitive projectiles and focused energy beams. Your shields couldn't withstand a solar flare, let alone a proper attack. The human ambassador's smile never wavered. You've done your research. Yes, our visible defensive capabilities are modest by your standards, but Earth has survived and thrived not through overwhelming force, but through adaptability and innovation. The Zalaki chairman's pattern shifted to what Elena recognized as curiosity. An interesting philosophy, Ambassador, but philosophy alone does not earn a seat on this council. What practical value does humanity offer? Elena had been waiting for this moment. We offer a different approach to problem solving. Where others might use force, we find alternatives. Where others see weakness, we see opportunity. Allow me to demonstrate with a historical example. She activated another hologram, showing Earth's first contact with an alien species 30 years prior. When the Proxima Raiders attacked our colony ships, we had only 2 defense vessels. The Raiders had 15. By conventional wisdom, we should have been destroyed. The chamber grew quiet, intrigued despite themselves. Instead, Elena continued, we transmitted a computer virus that convinced their navigation systems they were flying into a sun. They retreated in panic and we didn't fire a single shot. The virus, created by a teenager in Mumbai who enjoyed hacking games in her spare time. The Vorthan delegate's mandibles clicked dismissively. One lucky incident proves nothing. The galaxy is dangerous, human. Your 5 ships and clever tricks won't protect you from the real threats out here. Perhaps, Elena conceded. But we've survived every challenge we've faced. Not through superior numbers, but through something your species might not fully appreciate. Human ingenuity. The Crichton delegate uncoiled slightly, its mercury-like form rippling. You speak with surprising confidence for someone so clearly outmatched. Tell me, human, what would your 5 ships do if faced with a true crisis? Say, a Devastator-class asteroid on collision course with an inhabited world? Elena's eyes flickered with something the aliens couldn't quite identify. We would find a way? Find a way. The Gorvak laughed, a sound like continents grinding together. A Devastator-class asteroid requires the combined firepower of at least 50 capital ships to destroy. Your 5 vessels couldn't even slow it down. The Zalaki, chairman's tentacles waved thoughtfully. An interesting hypothetical. Perhaps we should make it less hypothetical. The chamber fell silent. The Council has been monitoring a rogue Devastator-class asteroid in the Kepler 4042 system, the chairman continued. It will impact the inhabited moon of Kepler 442b in 6 standard days. 30 million sentients live there, a small Fraxian colony the Council has been protecting. Elena felt her heart rate increase but kept her expression neutral. We propose a test, the chairman said, his bioluminescent patterns shifting to formal protocol colors. If Earth can prevent this catastrophe with your 5 ships and human ingenuity, we will grant you provisional membership. If you fail, you will accept protectorate status under the Vorthon hegemony. The Vorthon delegate's crystalline form practically glowed with anticipation. A generous offer. My people will gladly assume responsibility for Earth's protection when they inevitably fail. Elena looked around the chamber, seeing amusement, pity, and condescension in alien eyes. None of them believed Earth stood a chance. Perfect. We accept, she said simply. The chamber erupted in surprised chatter. The Kryton delegate slithered forward. You accept? Just like that? Do you understand what you're agreeing to? A Devastator-class asteroid is composed of ultra-dense matter. It's virtually indestructible. The Gorvak couldn't crack one with their planet killers. We understand perfectly, Elena replied, her calm tone cutting through the noise. Earth accepts the challenge. We'll save the Fraxian colony. The Vorthon delegate's mandibles spread in what might have been a grin. Excellent. We look forward to welcoming Earth as our newest protectorate. Your population will make excellent workers in our crystal mines. Elena activated her communicator, sending a brief message to the fleet waiting outside. Then she turned back to the Council. If you'll excuse me, honored delegates, we have work to do. Time is short. As she glided back to her transport pod, Elena heard the whispers following her. Foolish humans. They don't understand what they've agreed to. 5 ships against a Devastator. At least they'll serve as an example to other primitive species. Elena smiled to herself as the pod sealed. They had no idea what was coming. For 30 years, Earth had hidden its true strength, appearing weak and primitive to avoid attracting the wrong kind of attention. But now, with Council membership within reach, it was time to show the galaxy what humanity could really do. As her pod departed the chamber, Elena activated a secure channel to Earth Command. Operation Hidden Strength is authorized. Repeat, Hidden Strength is go. Time to show them what we've been building in the dark. The response came immediately. Understood, Ambassador. The real fleet is already moving. Let's give these aliens the surprise of their lives. Through the pod's viewport, Elena watched the 5 ships of Earth's diplomatic fleet turn toward the Kepler 442 system. Such small vessels, the aliens thought. Such a tiny, weak fleet. They'd learned soon enough that when it came to humanity, appearances could be devastatingly deceptive. The countdown had begun. 6 days until impact. 6 days until the galaxy learned why it was never wise to underestimate the human race. The Revelation Admiral Sarah Chen stood on the bridge of the ESS Prometheus, one of Earth's 5 visible ships, watching the tactical display with practiced calm. The massive Devastator-class asteroid tumbled through space ahead of them, a chunk of ultra-dense matter the size of Manhattan that had somehow broken free from its original orbit and now threatened 30 million lives. Around her, the bridge crew worked with quiet efficiency. No panic, no doubt, just human determination in the face of impossible odds. They all knew what the aliens thought. 5 ships against a planet killer, suicide mission, hopeless. They also knew the truth. Admiral, reported Commander Torres from Tio, the tactical station. We're being observed by at least 40 alien vessels. They're maintaining distance but recording everything. Let them watch, Chen replied, a slight smile playing at her lips. How's our shadow fleet? Torres checked his classified displays. All quiet on the Ghost Front, Admiral. They're maintaining perfect stealth. The alien sensors are sliding right off them like water off a duck. Through the viewports, Chen could see representatives from various council species had arrived to witness humanity's inevitable failure. The Vorthan fleet had positioned itself prominently, their crystalline ships glittering like predatory jewels. They were already preparing to claim Earth as a protectorate. Incoming transmission from the Vorthan command ship, announced Lieutenant Barrett from communications. On screen, Chen ordered. The screen flickered to life, revealing Commander Zix, the Vorthan military leader. His crystalline form was a deep purple, their color of anticipated victory. Admiral Chen, Zix clicked, his translator giving his words, a patronizing tone. You still have time to withdraw. There's no shame in acknowledging your limitations. The Vorthan hegemony stands ready to assist, for a reasonable price. Chen's expression remained neutral. That's generous of you, Commander, but we're proceeding with our plan. What plan? Zix's mandibles clicked rapidly, their equivalent of laughter. You've been scanning that asteroid for 2 days. Your weapons can't even scratch it. Your 5 little ships are gnats trying to stop a mountain.
We have our methods, Chen replied calmly. More clicking from Zix and his bridge crew. Methods? Human, that asteroid contains enough dark matter to crush a small moon. In 4 days it will impact Kepler 442b and obliterate every living thing.
Only the combined firepower of a proper fleet could destroy it. Firepower you clearly lack. Chen glanced at her tactical officer, who gave her a subtle nod. Everything was in position. You're right about one thing, Commander, Chen said. Our visible fleet alone couldn't destroy that asteroid. Traditional weapons are useless against it. Finally, some sense. Zix's crystals flickered with satisfaction. So you'll accept our protection? No, Chen said simply. We're going to save those people, but not with weapons. The tactical display showed the asteroid's trajectory, a death sentence written in orbital mechanics. The alien observers had multiplied, now numbering over 100 ships from various species, all waiting to witness humanity's humiliation. Admiral, Torres reported quietly. Ghost Fleet signals ready. Operation Hidden Strength is go on your command. Chen nodded. It was time. Commander Zix, you asked about our plan. Allow me to demonstrate. All ships, execute Phase 1. The 5 Earth vessels spread out in a precise formation around the asteroid. To the watching aliens, it looked like a futile gesture. 5 tiny ships trying to surround a cosmic giant. Then something unprecedented happened. Space itself seemed to ripple. Where there had been empty void, dozens of human ships suddenly appeared, their stealth systems deactivating in perfect synchronization. But these weren't warships. They were unlike anything the aliens had seen. By the void, Zix's translator screeched. Where did they come from? Chen allowed herself a small smile. Commander, meet Earth's real fleet. We call this division the Shepherd Squadron. 120 construction vessels, each carrying something special. The alien communications channels exploded with chatter. Vorthan, Kryten, Gorvak, Zelaki, all expressing shock, confusion, and alarm. Humanity had hidden an entire fleet in plain sight, but the surprises were just beginning. Phase 2, Chen ordered. The construction vessels deployed their cargo. Thousands of small, precisely engineered devices that looked like metallic spiders. They swarmed over the asteroid's surface, anchoring themselves with molecular adhesion technology Earth had developed in secret. What are those things? Demanded the Gorvak representative over an open channel. Gravitational resonance manipulators, Chen replied. Humanity's solution to problems too big for brute force. Sometimes you don't need to destroy something. You just need to change its direction. The spider-like devices activated in perfect sequence, creating a network of artificial gravity fields around the asteroid. The massive rock shuddered, its trajectory beginning to shift. Impossible! Zix's crystals were flashing chaotically. The energy required to alter that asteroid's path, it would take the power output of a star. Or, Chen said, the synchronized effort of 12,000 micromanipulators utilizing quantum entanglement to share the load. We don't need star-level power. We just need Earth-level ingenuity. The tactical display showed the asteroid's path beginning to curve, degree by agonizing degree, but Chen wasn't done. Phase 3, she commanded, another ripple in space. This time, massive mining vessels appeared, ships the size of cities that had been hiding in plain sight, using technology that bent light and sensor waves around them. Our deep space mining fleet, Chen announced to the stunned aliens. Humanity has been preparing for space exploration for decades. We just chose not to advertise it. The mining vessels deployed energy beams unlike anything in the Council's database. Not weapons, but precision-cutting tools that could slice through planets. They began carving carefully calculated chunks from the asteroid, reducing its mass and making it easier to redirect. The alien chatter had gone from mockery to shock to something approaching fear. Humanity hadn't just hidden a few ships, they'd concealed an entire interstellar civilization. Phase 4, Chen ordered. This time the ships that appeared were clearly military vessels, sleek, angular, and bristling with weapons arrays that defied conventional design. But instead of attacking, they formed a protective perimeter around the operation. Our Guardian fleet, Chen explained, just in case anyone gets ideas about interfering with humanitarian operations. The Zalaki chairman's voice cut through the chaos. Ambassador Rodriguez, what is the meaning of this deception? Elena's voice came over the channel, calm and diplomatic. Not deception, Chairman. Discretion. Earth learned long ago that advertising, your strength makes you a target. We chose to appear weak while building our true capabilities in secret. But your technology, the Crichton delegate stuttered. Some of these systems are beyond even Council standard. Humanity has a saying, Elena replied. Necessity is the mother of invention. When you can't rely on overwhelming numbers, you learn to be creative. The asteroid's trajectory continued to shift. The mining vessels had carved away nearly 30% of its mass, turning Planet Killer into manageable chunks that could be safely harvested or redirected to uninhabited space. Final phase, Chen announced. Something special we've been saving. The space around the asteroid shimmered and a single ship appeared. But this vessel defied classification. It seemed to be made of pure energy held in ship form, its hull shifting and flowing like liquid starlight. The ESS Prometheus's Flame, Chen said with pride. Humanity's first quantum state vessel. It exists partially in our dimension and partially in quantum space, the ultimate achievement of human engineering. The Prometheus's Flame extended tendrils of energy that enveloped the asteroid's remains. Space itself seemed to bend around them. Then, in a flash of impossible colors, the asteroid vanished. Where did it go? Zix whispered. Transported to the empty space between galaxies, Chen replied. No threat to anyone but preserved for future study. Humanity doesn't believe in waste. The alien communications had gone silent. The mighty species that had laughed at Earth's 5 ships now faced a human fleet that had appeared from nowhere, demonstrating technology that challenged their understanding of physics. Chen activated a general broadcast. To all Council species, present, humanity has completed the challenge. The Fraxian colony is safe, but we want to be clear about something. She paused, letting the weight of the moment settle. We are not interested in conquest or domination. These capabilities were developed for exploration, construction, and protection. We hid our strength not from cowardice but from wisdom. The galaxy has enough predators. It needs more guardians. The Vorthan commander's crystals had shifted to a color none of the humans had seen before, something between fear and respect. You could have revealed this power at any time. You could have demanded anything from the Council. We could have, Chen agreed. But that's not who we are. Humanity seeks partners, not subjects. We want to build, not destroy. Elena's voice came over the channel again. Chairman, Council delegates, Earth's formal request stands. We seek membership not to threaten or dominate, but to contribute. Our fleet stands ready to assist any species in need, to help explore the unknown, to protect those who cannot protect themselves. The Zalaki chairman's patterns shifted through a complex sequence. The Council will need to deliberate. This revelation changes everything we thought we knew about your species. Take your time, Elena replied. We're not going anywhere. And Chairman, the next time someone judges a species by the size of their visible fleet, perhaps remember that the most dangerous predator is often the one you never see coming. But the best ally? That's the one who could be a predator, but chooses to be a friend instead. As the alien fleets began to withdraw, still processing what they'd witnessed, Admiral Chen turned to her crew. Stand down to normal operations. Signal the Ghost Fleet to return to stealth mode. Let's give our new friends time to adjust to reality. Admiral, Torres asked, do you think they'll accept us now? Chen smiled, watching the last of the alien ships disappear into FTL. They'll accept us, Commander. They don't really have a choice now, but more importantly, I think they'll respect us. And in this galaxy, that's worth more than all the warships ever built. The stars shone brighter somehow as humanity's hidden fleet vanished back into the shadows from which they'd emerged. The tiny diplomatic squadron of 5 ships remained just as before. But now the galaxy knew the truth. When you mock a human fleet for being small, you'd better be certain you're seeing all of it. Because humanity's greatest strength had never been in the weapons they showed, but in the wonders they kept hidden until the universe truly needed them. The age of humanity as a galactic power had begun. Not with conquest, but with compassion. Not with destruction, but with creation. And across 1,000 worlds, species that had once laughed at the tiny human fleet now whispered a new phrase with respect and perhaps a touch of grateful fear. Never underestimate the humans. The galaxy would never be the same again.